Okay, our weekly updates, November 29th. Well, it was Thanksgiving, and many people are not here, but a lot of updates, surprisingly. So first is China. Qwen QwQ-32b from Alibaba. This is excellent model. It is similar to OpenAI O1 model, and it is reasoning model. So it tells you what it does. It reflects on its own actions. It takes a little bit longer to give answers. It's amazing model. And what's amazing, it's sometimes better than OpenAI reasoning model, but OpenAI just tells you, I'm thinking, and but the Qwen actually tells you all the steps, and you can ask it why it decided to go this way or that way. Completely open source, absolutely amazing. So this is GitHub, tweet. You can try it on Hugging Face. There is a couple testing videos, and if you could just search for QwQ on YouTube, you will see a lot of videos where people testing the model. So yeah, this is great. Next, again from Alibaba, Matrix. So it's new AI model which creates videos, and these videos are not limited to 5 seconds or whatever. They're streaming videos. They can go for a long time. They use some new technology, video diffusion transformer and shift window denoising process, whatever. Quite amazing. A lot of possible applications. Next, Nvidia Sana-1.6B. Well, 20 times smaller and 100 times faster than Flux. Just last couple weeks, I was talking about Flux video model. Who is not muted? Please mute yourself. And now we have improvement, but listen, 20 times smaller and 100 times faster. Quite amazing. 1.6 billion parameters, right? DCAE, Deep Compression Autoencoder, allows for 32 image compression, reducing memory usage. Open source, can be deployed locally. So coming from Nvidia. If you have 12 gigabyte VRAM, which laptops have this kind of VRAM, this model can easily run and can generate 1,000 by 1,000 images in under a second. So it surpassed Stability AI, Black Forest Labs. Black Forest Labs is creators of Flux. So this is amazing. Okay, next, Nvidia HyMBA. So again, model for smaller devices, 8K context length, efficient, specialized using so-called meta tokens. Well, it has two architectures inside, standard transformer, but also Mamba. Mamba's role is to help to process longer context efficiently. As you know, Mamba is not transformer, is alternative. It doesn't have n squared complexity, so it can process longer context. Very interesting new solution, again, coming from NVIDIA. Self-evolving LLM by a startup called Writer. So it's writer.com, engineering self-evolving models. Can continuously learn and update their parameters, using memory tool within their layers to store important information. Next is Runner H, autonomous AI agent for robotics by a French Paris-based startup called HCompany.ai, founded by ex-Google employees. Just raised $220 million, 2 billion parameter LLM and visual together. Approach, compact specialized model instead of large generalist ones, which you already seen today several examples of that. Smaller models, specialized use cases here, robotics, process automation. Okay, some more updates. Uber, getting into AI in a very strange way. They're hiring people to do data preparation, data labeling, not just for Uber, but for other companies as well. Data preparation is actually a very good, lucrative business. There are multi-billion dollar companies doing that. Daily AI, a very good company. What they do, they help you create your own newsletter automatically generated using AI. So you can pay them money and have this newsletter for your business. Mistral, French company, is now opening office in Palo Alto, California, and it's planning to hire US-based engineers and scientists. Runway frames, AI image creation. So yeah, this is yet another application for realistic quality and style control powered by Gen 3 Alpha and Runway in-house API. Boosted.ai, AI assistant for investment professionals. So it's basically a chatbot, you talk to it, and it substitutes, like, can do in 20 minutes what professional need a week to do the analysis. Boosted AI like serves more than 100 clients, managing more than 3 trillion in assets, recently raised $15 million. Okay, next, Windsurf AI editor by Codeium. Codeium, they started by providing extension for Visual Studio Code to use AI for software development. And it's one of the available extensions. There are actually multiple extensions. So, well, of course, there is a GitHub Copilot coming from Microsoft, but then there are many other extensions. Just go in VS Code and look for AI extensions. So Codeium is one of them, but they created also a standalone application. It supports multiple models, and this latest editor, Windsurf, has a lot of new features. So it uses context engine to understand your code base with multiple files, gives you suggestions, built on Cascade, an engine that combines AI with deep code understanding, terminal command integration, debugging, auto-completion, multi-file editing. $10 a month. So it's similar to Cursor, but Cursor is $20 a month. It's a commercial AI editor. This is only $10 a month. Also allows image upload, and this is very interesting because you can make a wireframe mockup of your application, load it into your IDE, and it will generate code based on this wireframe. So this is great. Video, yeah, there is a video here, YouTube video, which shows examples how to use it. Now, Anthropic recently created something called Model Context Protocol. So it's an open standard on how AI, large language model, can communicate with various external data sources, how to connect and how to get data. So this editor supports MCP, Model Context Protocol. Unlimited access to Claude 3.5. And again, in Cursor, you have limited usage of large language models. If you need more, you either can use your own API key or pay Cursor more. But here you have unlimited access to Claude 3.5. This is a huge plus. Okay, next, chat. Oh, hold on. Here, yeah, I just listed Visual Studio Code with GitHub Copilot, Visual Studio Code with many other extensions, Cursor, which is a very good, probably most famous IDE for AI for coding, IDX.dev from Google, JetBrains IDEs, all of them now have AI assistant, just to show you a little bit around. Okay, Chat LLM for Teams by Abacus AI. Okay, $10 per user per month, right? So this is their website and YouTube, which shows how to use it. What it does, it works with your code and GitHub. So it can write code, identify fix errors, creating pull requests. connect to your GitHub account. So you go into Abacus AI, you create account, sign in, and then you can connect to your GitHub, and then you can tell it what to do. So it can analyze your code, understand your instructions, create sidebar, whatever, generate, modify code, automatically create pull requests, relevant titles, descriptions, file changes, streamlining the code review, and then merge code into the main branch. So it automates a lot of repetitive tasks. So yeah, they may be a great tool. Chat LLM for Teams offers. So this is the name of this service, Chat LLM for Teams. Let me highlight it here. Features like multiple LLMs, user management, chat with PDFs, custom chatbots, code editor, web search, image generation, video generation, a lot of functionality for only $10 a month. You see, it's really difficult to choose AI-enabled tool if you're a software engineer, what to use. Anthropic Claude, some good updates. One is preset styles. So this is Anthropic Claude. So here you type your question and you can choose the model. So usually it's Claude 3.5 Sonnet or Opus, and then choose your style. And if you press on choose your style, it gives you normal, concise, explanatory, formal, or you can create and edit your own styles by giving it examples of your text, right? Very good. I guess for business it may be very important because depending on the situation you may use different style, and now it's just given to you for free. Okay, more updates. There are rumors that new administration will appoint a person who will be like a czar for AI in US. Well, these are rumors, but it's also logical that such person probably should be appointed. And it probably will not be Elon Musk, but we don't know. Okay, copyright enforcement easier when it comes to AI modeling training. There is a new proposed bill would require AI developers to reveal training materials to copyright holders if they have good faith belief that their work was used. Okay, Anthropic tool for connecting. Okay, I told about this before. Model context protocol, open source standard for any model to draw data from other sources. AWS multi-agent orchestrator, new open source multi-agent AI framework for both Python and JavaScript. Boltz.One open source model for biomolecular structure prediction achieves AlphaFold 3 level accuracy. So AlphaFold coming from Google, as you know, and this is a very famous model. But now we have open source equivalent. So this is great. Llava 01, this is coming from China, from different universities and companies, and 11 billion parameter model. So it's a visual language model with reasoning capabilities. It outperforms Gemini 1.5, GPT-4, and Llama 3 in reasoning. Open Canvas, this is from LangChain. You see the link, github.com, langchain.ai, Open Canvas. offers open source UI for working with LLMs like Llama 3. It uses Reflection AI agent to store style, rules, and user insights, enhancing workflow integration and collaboration. So Canvas becomes very common. I really like Canvas with working with Claude because it can if you ask to write a little bit of code, it just inserts it in your conversation. But if it's more than like 20 lines, it put it at the side, and so you can easily copy it. And sometimes, depending on the type of the code, you can even run it. Okay, Google Gemini Live. This is AI voice assistant that allow users to have natural conversation with Gemini. Well, they had it before. This is just getting better. Okay, next is AI2. This is non-profit research by Paul Allen, who is co-founder of Microsoft, I would say late co-founder, released the new model, Olma version 2. Olma stands for Open Language Model. So about this everything is open there. The data, the tools, the training, the model itself. So they have 7B and 13B versions of the model, and they claim it to be competitive in quality with Meta Llama 3.1. It's completely open. Okay, next. Well, there was a bit of scandal. OpenAI Sora is a model which generates video. It was released in February earlier this year, but by released I mean they demonstrated it, but never actually released it. And what's happened now, they hired, well, for free, a lot of artists to do some testing. And what these people have done, they leaked the model and they wrote an open letter complaining about OpenAI, that OpenAI is using other people's work. So, oh, here I wrote it. The artists who were tasked with red teaming and providing feedback released an open letter explaining their reasons for the leak. They objected to unpaid labor for a $150 billion company, which is OpenAI, have concern about Sora's potential to replace artists without fair compensation, and having limited control over creative process and user-generated content. They believe that the early access program was more about PR for OpenAI and less about genuine collaboration with artists. So they leaked it, and then OpenAI closed it. So it is kind of a scandal. Next is really great conversation with Andrei Karpathy. I like this podcast. I subscribe to it. So this is here is the original video. It's called No Priors, No Priors podcast, and some of the very interesting ideas here. He was talking about smaller sized distill models. So he says that, well, the big models, big LLMs, a lot of their size going into remembering all kind of scientific stuff, life stuff, whatever. It's a lot of memory, which maybe you don't need about religion or ancient history or some chemistry or biochemistry or names of different drugs or whatever comes to mind. So he says if you separate the cognitive engine, which can speak and understand and maybe reason, and the memory of different facts. So the cognitive engine by itself may be very small. He believes it may be made more than 1 billion parameters. And he believes that the future will be to have small cognitive engine and kind of memory information stored separately. And if this kind of models will become reality, then they may become very small and specialized, and that's the overall direction. He also talks about self-driving cars and make a parallel between how self-driving at Tesla was going through steps of becoming practical, and the same now is happening with large language model. So he currently left OpenAI and created his own company called Eureka, focusing on education. So he talks about that. Very interesting conversation, highly recommend. Next, Ollama tool calling. So it's a video which explains how in Ollama you can use tools. What does it mean? That you can create a function which does something, and then you can make it available to your large language models so they can call this function and get the results when producing the answer. All major vendors like OpenAI, Gemini, Claude usually have their own way of providing similar functionality. But here, what Ollama gives you, you can use this with any model they provide. And Ollama has, well, several weeks ago, it was 45,000 models they had on their website. So it's kind of generic way of calling functions. Very interesting conversation. I really like Peter Diamandis and his channel. Highly recommend to subscribe. So he talks to Salim Ismail, who is a serial entrepreneur and well, technology strategist, known expertise in exponential organizations, whatever. So he talking about democracy and how technologies will change their democracies. So they say that nation states are becoming obsolete, representative governments less relative, decentralization and localized governance is probably the way to go. And again, very interesting conversation. Here I pointed some main ideas. So they basically saying that it is inevitable. The democratic process will have to be redesigned. Again, very interesting. Okay, Anthropic released this page, the case for targeted regulation. So they say that it is urgent to make some regulations because in about a year and a half time, it will be late. We will not be able to control. Next, working with Grok-2 API. So Grok-2 coming from X.ai, which is former Twitter, which is Elon Musk's company, and they opened API for the Grok model, and you can use it same way, absolutely same way. How would you use, let's say, OpenAI models? So you go to console.x.ai, you create account, you create API key, then on your computer you install certain Python modules, you create environmental variables XAI API key, and then you can do client using OpenAI library to do that, and you can have basic chat and streaming and everything, and he provides all the code here. Let me just go to his website where he provides examples of code. The Grok has some benefits, like for example, you can talk to image URL or image. It's compatible with LangChain. If you like LangChain, you can use it. Yeah, I really like this guy who his name is Mervin Prazen. He has very good channel. I highly recommend to subscribe. So how many videos he has? 440 videos. They're all detailed technical demonstrations of different things. Extremely useful. Next, well, this is Crowdsource Arena leaderboard. And what you see is that Gemini, they released a model on 14th of November and then on 21st of November. And you see they're very close to the top. I'm looking for English only query and coding query. If you look at overall, it will be on the top. In fact, let me do that. So if you see overall, Gemini X1121 takes the first place. So interesting. But if we look like what do you want to use for coding, ChatGPT 4o, right? Latest. Oh, they released the latest one November 20th. It's a very recent one. O1 preview, O1 mini. This is Chinese. This is Grok, right? This is for English. And then for coding, we have O1 mini, O1 preview. OpenAI takes the first three places. Then Gemini, Claude. This is what I use mostly. I use Gemini and Claude. And then some other things. Okay, green means open source. XAI, China. Okay. Next, tech layoffs. I didn't even change the graph because it didn't change on the website because the statistics of number of layoffs, it's very small number in November, so it's not even shown here. Okay, this is me, and thank you.